Teachings of Yajurveda. What you are about to hear is not just knowledge. It is instruction. It is power. It is a transmission carried across thousands of years, from a time when humanity did not just think about truth, it lived it. Today, I open a doorway for you, not into belief, but into alignment. This is the wisdom of the Yajurveda. And if you truly listen, not with your ears, but with your awareness, you will never see your actions the same way again. Let me ask you something. Why do you do what you do? Every action you take, every word you speak, every decision you make, is it conscious or is it automatic? Because the Yajurveda begins with a radical truth. Life is not shaped by what you know, but by what you do. And most people do not act. They react. They react to fear, they react to desire, they react to conditioning. But the ancient seers who revealed the Yajurveda understood something profound. Action is sacred. Every action is a ritual. Every moment is an offering. Every choice is a step either toward chaos or toward cosmic harmony. And this is where your journey begins. Imagine this. A fire burning at the center of existence. Not a physical fire, but a symbolic one. A fire that represents transformation. The sages called it Agni. But listen carefully. This fire is not outside you. It is within you. It is the fire of intention, the fire of awareness, the fire that turns ordinary action into sacred action. And the Yajurveda teaches, if you learn how to offer your actions into this inner fire, your entire life becomes divine. Now pause. Feel that. Because this is not philosophy. This is practice. Let me take you deeper. In the modern world, people are obsessed with results. What will I get? What will I achieve? What will I gain? But the Yajurveda flips this completely. It asks a different question. What are you offering? Because the moment your life becomes about offering rather than grasping, something shifts, anxiety dissolves, pressure fades, clarity emerges. Why? Because you are no longer acting from ego. You are acting from alignment. Let me tell you a story. There was once a seeker who approached a master and said, "Teach me the highest truth." The master handed him a bowl of water and said, "Carry this across the village without spilling a single drop." Confused, the seeker obeyed. He walked carefully, step by step, focused entirely on the bowl. When he returned, the master asked, "What did you see on your journey?" The seeker replied, "Nothing. I was completely focused on not spilling the water." The master smiled. That is the secret of the Yajurveda. Total presence in action. No distraction, no fragmentation, just pure, undivided awareness. Now listen carefully, because this is where most people fail. They think spirituality is about escaping action, meditating in silence, withdrawing from the world. But the Yajurveda says the opposite. It says, do not escape action, purify it. Do not run from responsibility, transform it. Do not abandon the world, sanctify it, because the world is not the problem. Unconscious action is. And here comes the deeper layer. The Yajurveda introduces the concept of Yajna, often translated as sacrifice, but not the way you think. Not loss, not suffering, not giving something up unwillingly. Yajna means sacred exchange. It means recognizing that life itself is a continuous cycle of giving and receiving. You breathe in, you breathe out, you eat, you give energy, you learn, you teach. Nothing in existence is isolated. Everything is interconnected, and the moment you break this balance, suffering begins. Look at the modern world. Stress, burnout, disconnection. Why? Because people are taking more than they are giving, consuming more than they are contributing, acting without awareness of the whole. The Yajurveda warns us of this. It says, when action is disconnected from purpose, it becomes destructive. But when action is aligned with cosmic order, it becomes liberating. Now let me take you even deeper. There is a hidden teaching within the Yajurveda that very few truly understand. It is this: the outer ritual is only a reflection of the inner state. You can perform the most elaborate ceremony, recite the most powerful mantras, follow every rule perfectly, and still remain unchanged. Why? Because the real ritual is happening inside you. The real offering is your ego. The real fire is your awareness. The real transformation is your consciousness. So the question becomes, are you living mechanically, or are you living consciously? Because every moment gives you a choice: to act out of habit or to act out of awareness, to react from fear or to respond with clarity, to chase outcomes or to align with purpose. Let me interrupt your thinking for a moment. Right now, as you are listening to this, are you truly present? Or is your mind wandering, thinking about something else? planning, judging, because this is the exact point. Most people are never fully here, they are always somewhere else, and that is why their actions lack power. The Yajurveda teaches a simple but profound principle. Where your attention goes, your life flows. If your attention is scattered, your life becomes chaotic. If your attention is focused, your life becomes powerful. And if your attention is sacred, your life becomes divine. Now imagine living like this. Every action you take, done with full awareness. Every word you speak, chosen with intention. Every decision you make, aligned with truth. What kind of life would that create? Not a life of confusion, but a life of clarity. Not a life of stress, but a life of purpose. Not a life of fragmentation, but a life of unity. But here's the challenge. This path is not easy, because it requires discipline. It requires awareness. It requires breaking patterns that have been running your life for years. And most people are not willing to do that. They want quick fixes, instant results, easy answers. But the Yajurveda does not offer shortcuts. It offers transformation. Let me give you a powerful practice. Starting today, before you take any significant action, pause just for a moment and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it fear? Is it ego? Is it habit? Or is it alignment? That single question can change your entire life. Now let me open another layer, because this is where things become truly profound. The Yajurveda teaches that action has consequences, not as punishment, but as natural law. Every action creates a ripple. Every choice creates a trajectory. Every intention shapes reality, and this is what later traditions called karma. But understand this clearly. Karma is not fate, it is feedback. It is the universe showing you the result of your alignment or your misalignment. So if your life feels chaotic, if your mind feels restless, if your path feels unclear, do not look outside. Look at your actions, because your actions are the seeds of your reality. Now here's where it gets even deeper. The Yajurveda doesn't just teach individual transformation. It teaches collective harmony. It recognizes that your actions do not just affect you. They affect everything around you, your family, your community, your environment, the entire web of existence. And this is why conscious action is not just personal, it is universal. Let me ask you something powerful. What if every person on this planet acted with awareness, spoke with intention, lived with purpose? What kind of world would we create? A world without chaos. A world without unnecessary suffering. A world aligned with harmony. But that world does not begin out there. It begins with you. Right here, right now. And here comes the final transmission. The essence of the Yajurveda can be distilled into one truth. Live your life as a sacred offering. Not someday. Not when conditions are perfect. Not when you feel ready. Now, in this moment, because this moment is all you have. Feel this deeply. Every breath you take is a gift. Every opportunity you receive is a chance to align. Every action you perform is a choice. And when you begin to see life this way, everything changes. You no longer live randomly, you live intentionally. You no longer act unconsciously, you act with awareness. You no longer chase meaning, you become meaning. So the next time you feel lost, the next time you feel overwhelmed, the next time you feel disconnected, remember this. You do not need to change your entire life overnight. You only need to transform this moment, and then the next, and then the next. Because transformation is not a single event, it is a continuous offering. Now take a deep breath. Let everything you've heard settle within you. Not as information, but as realization. Because the Yajurveda is not something you understand intellectually, it is something you embody. And as you move forward from this moment, I leave you with this final question. Will you continue to live unconsciously? Or will you rise into awareness and turn your life into a sacred act? The choice has always been yours, and it always will be. If this awakened something within you, if this shifted your perception, if this reminded you of who you truly are, then you are already on the path. But remember, this is just the beginning. There are deeper truths, greater realizations, and infinite layers of awakening waiting for you. So don't stop here. Continue the journey and walk it with awareness. Subscribe to Inspiration and Insight and step into the highest version of yourself.